righty. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and bring Steve onto the panel. Give me a second here. What is up, Steve?
Yo, how are you?
I'm doing great, boss. How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing good. Thank you very much.
Perfect. Now, before you get started, I'm going to go ahead and do a little introduction that I promised I would do for you. Here we go. Do you know anyone that's worked with Sir Elton John or Elon Musk, sent people down to see the wreck of the Titanic on the seabed, or closed museums in Florence for a private dinner party, and then had Andre Bocelli serenade them while they eat their pasta? Well, you do now. Quoted as the real-life Wizard of Oz, by Forbes and Entrepreneur Magazine, Steve Sims is the best-selling author with Bluefishing, The Art of Making Things Happen, sought-after consultant and speaker at a variety of networks, groups, and associations, as well as the Pentagon and Harvard twice. So without further ado, Mr. Steve Sims.
Hey, how you doing? Thank you very much for that. That was very nice things you said. All true and all wonderful and all awesome, but a complete waste of freaking time if this next hour doesn't help any of you guys. I will say that I hate doing webinars. So anybody listening to this already, I want you to get ready. I want you to get ready with your questions. I want you to get ready with any of your problems, because this isn't an hour where I get to sell you how brilliant I am. It's an hour where we get to solve. Okay, so let's look into how we can actually do. First of all, I've got to give a big shout out to Mitch. This is the first time I've ever done this event. I usually like to be involved in events where the other speakers potentially aren't as good as me, because it makes me look better, but that wasn't the case here. I've been tuning in and out throughout the morning. I was actually in the vet with my dog, so I was doing it on my phone, and it was a bit sketchy. But yeah, I saw Dan, Megan, Dustin was absolutely incredible. Really loved him. My girl Trish, spot on. Didn't get to catch everyone, but I'm going to go back to the replay. So anyone that actually purchased this and actually got involved, congrats, smart ass, use it to your advantage. What I'm going to do over the next hour is I'm going to run through some basics of what I teach through, it's a closed course now, so you can't buy it. It's already closed and halfway through. A course that we set up just for the loan and mortgage industry called Ahead of the Curve. And I'm going to give a few tidbits that are actually being used within that you're going to be able to use within your business. Because I've heard a lot of the people, and especially Dustin, going on about communicating, and Shelby talking about how can I get going, and how we've got to use this and pixelate and adverts and reach our clients. And all of that is brilliant. But you've got one step right at the beginning that you've got to get your head around, and you've got to understand how to connect with people. That's the main thing, and that's where we've got a big-ass problem at the moment. Because at this moment, the biggest skill set dying is the ability for any of us to bloody communicate. We're losing it. I'm classed as a great communicator only because so many other people are getting so god-awful at it. I look brilliant, okay? The bottom line of it is, while everyone's out there trying to come up, buy the blue pill, get a new CRM, get working on advertising, get into the dashboards to get pixelated this and retargeting this, we're not focusing on who we're talking to, and quite simply the biggest reason, the why. What's the point? Why are we there? Are we there to take that money? If you can do that, then just go and mug someone tonight. That's very easy to do. But if you want people to give you money and keep giving you money and keep giving you referrals, then be in a position of of a solution. Be there to solve, not sell. That's the difference between getting repeat clientele and mugging someone. Okay? So we're going to run through some basics. AI. I heard a report the other day which scared the living shit out of me, to be honest with you. It was a report by I think it was Stanford. And they said that the youth, and funny enough, they class this as anyone under the age of 28, okay? So I think that actually captures quite a wide demographic, probably about 3 different XYGs or whatever they bloody are now. It said that the average youth spends more time per month accumulatively talking to AI than they do their best friend. Now, I thought to myself, that's bollocks. That can't actually be true. That's ridiculous. I know I don't, but then I'm far from one of those youths. But then I watched my son, who's 14 years old. And I said to him, I said, hey, in the morning, you got to make sure you do this. And he went, sure, Dad. And straight away, instinctively, he pulls his phone out and he goes, Siri, remind me I have to do this at 8 o'clock. Click. And then we went out for a meal and he went, map so-and-so. And it showed up. And then we got in the car and my eldest spoke to OnStar or whatever it is about the directions for us to get somewhere. And I suddenly realized, along with Alexa and Google, Siri, all of these ones, we're now speaking to AI few seconds, but multiple times during the day. And when this report came out, because I went back to it after I saw this, they said that we were in combined, we're kind of like about an hour and something minutes of these 3 seconds here, 5 seconds here max. You don't speak to AI a lot. But when you combine it, when was the last time you picked up your phone for your best mate and you went, hey, Julie, how are you? Just thought I'd phone up for a nada. And then you stay on the phone with them for an hour. AI is still overtaking you. That's a scary statistic. Now, a lot of people, when you talk to people like that, they go, well, AI, that's there because, that's taking over. That's taking over our ability to connect with people. Bullshit. That's a hurdle. Every single year in the planet, there are hurdles, okay? I remember when people said fax machines coming out. Oh, that's the end of us being able to communicate. Email, oh, that's it. Those are the naysayers. Those are the world people that hold up the sign at the edge of the road going, the world is nigh. Screw them. That's not us. We are the slowest evolving technology in the planet. You want to look at something that's going backward, stare in the mirror, okay? We've got a hockey stick of technology, and we ain't keeping up with it. And anytime anything new comes out, we all get shit scared of change, okay? And you hear the common thing, oh, no one likes change. Who's the no one? Because me personally, I like change as long as it benefits me, because I'm a selfish, self-centered bitch. When was the last time you got on a plane and the air stewardess or the air steward, keep it sexually equal, when was the last time they turned around and said, in the case of an emergency and the air mask drops, put it on someone else first before you look after yourself? It's never been said. You need to look after yourself. What's the point? The why has to come from within you before it ever goes to anybody else. So when you're communicating, when new technology comes across, you've got to look at this stuff and go, okay, how can this benefit me? And while AI is a scary technology, it's here. It's like looking at electric cars and going, oh, I don't like the idea of that. Who cares? It's happening. It's coming. So what I want you to do with the AI is I want you to focus on why it's there, what does it alleviate, and therefore what does it free up for you to do more of what you do best. And at the end of the day, the only thing that any of us do is create and communicate. That's it. You can say fornicate and get drunk and all that kind of stuff, but it's what keeps us ahead of Amazon. You see, I don't need to have a long conversation when I'm ordering my toilet roll. But if I'm buying a house, I want to know about school districts. I want to know about building permits. I want to know about rules and regulations. I want to know about these things. I want to know the answers to questions that I don't even know. That's where you come in. You see, Amazon you go to bark commands at. Toilet roll, washing up liquid, shopping bags. All of those things are demands and they get delivered. With us human beings, our job is to connect, to solve, to reassure, to provide a solution. That's why AI, as far as I'm concerned, is a fantastic thing because it's getting me away from the mundane things. The job now with technology is to see what you can outsource. Now, my son does it very well because he doesn't have to write things down. He doesn't even have to remember stuff because he gets out his Siri, does that, and he outsources his requirement to remember anything to Siri. Okay, now let's be blunt. As human beings, we fall, we fail, we make mistakes. You would never buy a product that had the warranty status of a human being. Your baby's born, there's no 30-day give back, credit, or refund. That's it. It's basically downhill from the day we're born. Things are going to screw up, but AI and things like that are there to help us. I'm going to go through some ways of actually focusing on the next steps of how you need to do it. But you first of all need to understand that at a core, you are an animal communicating with another animal. You don't believe me? 10 o'clock tonight, you walk down the street and all of a sudden the bush rustles. You either kind of like jump up to fight it or you shit your pants and run away. Okay? Someone attractive walks down the other side of the road. Tell me you don't stare. For all of those married, you're not blind. I know you stare, okay? Because we react. We are animals. We respond to color, smell, touch, taste. We like full engagement, and part of that we're actually losing now. So, okay, so I've done my little rant about AI. The other thing that's kind of given us a bit of a tilt on this is the fact that a lot of the communication has got diluted and spread across so many different platforms that it is becoming a tough manage with our communication. If you go on Facebook and you have 5,000 friends of which you don't know the last name of 4,999 of them, and you occasionally will meet them and they've asked you a question and you've gone, well, I checked my email. Oh, I didn't email you. I Facebook messaged you. If you think about it now, or if you think about it going back, and I know we've got some young'uns on here. I was talking to Megan yesterday, which, let's be blunt, she looks like 13 years old. But when you're 50, everyone looks like 13 years old. And we were talking about it. There was a time before she was born that if I wanted to communicate with someone, I knocked on that door or I phoned them up or bumped into them in the pub. So 3 things. Now you can reach out to someone without even needing their phone number. You know, people actually phone me now on Facebook Message, of which I never answer, just letting you know. But Facebook Messenger, Snapchat, you know, LinkedIn, Tinder, there's a million different ways that people can actually reach out to you now. And it's a full-time job to actually try and control those. There are chat bots which answer basic information, which actually will then, if there's a question, route it to your email box. So just so that there's all these diluted areas of communication, there are automated ways, and you can actually get people to specialize in automation. Ari Meisel is very good. I think it's IFIT, Zapier. There's a bunch of groups. We do it within stevedsims.com, which actually will build up flowcharts that will actually take all of those communication portals and reconnect it back to one hub, like an email or a text format. But the point is, everyone's now communicating across all of these areas. It's becoming diluted. And just because you use Facebook Messenger or you use LinkedIn Sales Navigator doesn't mean everybody else does. Okay, so start using AI towards those things so it can actually help you communicate. Now we're going to run into actually how you can make sure that your communication is best received. And the way communication works best, he says, quickly slurping a cappuccino, is to focus on making sure that you're not confusing the crap out of someone. I have seen a million times, and I know you guys have, in the real estate industry, especially here in Beverly Hills, is prime for it, where you stick a picture of yourself when you were 23 years old on the bench of a bus stop, okay? And when you finally meet the person, you realize they've aged 30 years in like 24 hours. People are confusing each other because they're not using the images of themselves. They're trying to use language within their bio and in the way they communicate that is not them. They're trying to get on a soapbox and stand up for political views or for, you know, endangering butterflies or whatever it is to try and make yourself more articulate, more intelligent, more interesting. It's not you. And all of those things I've just mentioned are a freaking effort. And following the great guy, Joe Polish, he talks about ELF business, ELF, easy, lucrative, fun. The easy bit is focusing on how you can actually do something with low friction. Okay. Friction, there's no point in it. The only thing that happens within friction is things stop. That's why they're called brakes. You don't want friction in your life. The first thing you got to do is look at your life and go, where are my friction points? Okay. Communication should not be one of those. So look at all of your social feeds, and this is how you do it. get a desktop. You're not going to be able to do this on a phone. Get a desktop or a laptop, but as big a screen as you possibly can. And then what you do is you open up every social profile you have, whether it be your Pinterest, your Instagram, as I say, your Tinder, Grindr, whatever. Open them all up, okay? So they're all on one big desktop. And then look through the bios and see if they've all been updated, okay? Look at the pictures. Have you got like a really smart business picture on LinkedIn and then it's Girls Gone Wild on Facebook? All of that stuff is going to confuse the person that you're going to be communicating with, whether it be a partner, whether it be a vendor, whether it be a potential client. All of those things are going to confuse somebody. So you've got to get in there and actually say to people, this is me, this is my voice, this is my message. And don't try to be somebody you're not, because that takes effort. Think of yourself as a battery. If you're using 20% of your energy to be someone you're not, you can only give 80% to me. I want 100% of you. Eliminate the friction in your life. Stop trying to be someone you're not. I will tell you whether I want to work with you. I will tell you whether I like you by staying in that communication. It's not tough. There's people that you meet in a party that you talk to and you just go, I really don't like that person. Okay? Be as bold as that in your business. Take people on that you can resonate with, you can relate to, you can understand, because only in those points of connection can you actually delve in deeper in a comfortable zone in order to get them to actually open up to you so that you can be prepared to solve the problems. So the first trick is to make sure that you are not confusing anyone. It's called a social audit. It's only called that because that's what I called it. So you open up all your social stuff, make sure the pictures are the kind of same, make sure the bios are the kind of same, make sure the tone of voice is the same. And there's people out there that go, oh, well, whatever you put in Facebook, you can't put that in LinkedIn, right? Bollocks, why can't you? If this is what I'm interested in, I'm going to stick it on every solid platform. Why? Because it's not going to confuse you. I'm not going to tell you I like puppy dogs on Facebook and antique artifacts from the Greek era on LinkedIn and make myself look smarter. Clients won't Google you. They won't. I'm telling you that bottom line of it is they won't. Why? Because if they do, they're going to end up on your website. And what is your website? Nothing more than a platform for what you want to show off. It's your prettier picture. It's the one where you're photoshopped to make your cheeks a little bit thinner. It's your highlight reel. It doesn't show pictures of when you were on your ass or you got your car repossessed 30 years ago. It's your highlight reel. It's your bravado. Look at me. I'm awesome. You should do business with me. Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, all of these social feeds are where people are searching to really get an insight. Are they seeing you playing around with a load of, pretty women every Friday night and they can't recognize the same girl twice? Are they seeing you seeing a lot of value in a yellow Ferrari that you're leaning up against that's not yours? This is where people are making their assumptions, and we are in an assumption society now. You get a picture of yourself, outside a private jet. Forget the fact that the jet's not going anywhere and you just walk past it. You're trying to get people to assume that you've got some kind of relationship with that jet. This is the whole kind of perception society that we're in. And personally, I think there's going to be a reset. I think people are going to start turning around going, I'm done with this Photoshop crap. You've already seen it now within the adverts. They're putting real guys and girls in adverts, less made up. That's saying we want to show the raw thing, real thing, because our eyes can't believe what they're seeing anymore. Your social audit is a way of you regaining back your strength of character to show people, hey, this is who I am. This is what I stand for. If you like it, great. If not, move on. We'll both be fine. Okay? Focus on the people you can connect with and get more of those into your world. The social audit is very, very important, because once you've done that, then you need to focus on two things: the language you're speaking and who you're actually speaking to. So again, if you never speak in Queen's English, if you never use a bigger word than, something with 2 syllables in it, don't put it in your bio. Don't put it in your social. Don't, again, bring yourself any effort that you're going to need to maintain. Don't make up any bullshit history, stories, accreditations, anything like that you've got to support and back up, because it is going to trip you up. And once you're a liar, you're a liar. Done. So be real, be to the core, be who you are. I know you're champions. Otherwise, you wouldn't be spending a Friday morning learning from some incredible people. And I was to say, I can't say enough about the people that I've been watching this morning, and I will listen to the rest earlier. You want to make sure that your brand has continuity across all platforms. So if you're into one thing, show that you're into anything. If you stand for something, show you stand across. But then what you want to do is you want to start becoming a resource, because this is where you actually take your clients, or your customers, should I say, more into the loyal round of a client that then develops them into a fan, fanatic, and then your front line of marketing. You see, all of my websites, none of them have a phone number on them. In fact, if you want to call me, you have to pay $750. You think I'm joking? Go to stevedsims.com and look up the call. I'll charge you $750 to talk to me, unless you get introduced to me by someone that I find is credible, okay? See, I'm actually taking my front line and I'm getting them to do all my marketing for me. I'll often go into, when I do speeches and consultancy, I will say to people, hey, who here is a referral business? And you get a bunch of people put your hand up, and I say to them, okay, how many of you have your email and phone number on your website? 99% of them, 99.9% of them will go, oh, yeah, I do. And I'll say to them, well, then you're not a referral-based business. You just get a lot of referrals. A referral-based business is one that doesn't have any of those things on it because it doesn't need it. It doesn't require it. It doesn't suit the way that it markets. So you've got to work out what you're doing, who you're communicating with, what your voice is, and then we start moving in. And this is where Dustin, I was watching Dustin talking about this, is where you start attracting more clients, where you start marketing out. And he's right. I had a long conversation yesterday with a guy, one of the founders of Traffic and Conversion down in San Diego, Roland Frazier. He's an absolute genius within the IT world. And I'm very proud that, we just went and had lunch and we were chatting. And I said to him, I've been looking at these Facebook advertising dashboards and LinkedIn, stuff like that. And he said, boost your post. And I said, yeah, but people laugh when you talk about boosting your post. They say the people that boost a post don't understand how to use Facebook advertising. He said, you can get better, but first of all, get going. So just get some interests, get some hashtags, and boost your post for $10. And quite simply, Dustin was right. Vanity makes no sense. Until I can walk into a bar, get completely wazzered out of my head, and then pay my bar tab at the end with Facebook likes, I pay no respect or care to them. What you got to focus on engagement. If you get 200 people like what you're saying and one person comment, you failed, okay? If you get 10 likes and you're having a conversation with 3 or 4 people, that's what's going to get you the beach house in Malibu, okay? So engagement will pay your bar tab. Facebook likes won't. And you'll get a lot of people going, well, you can pixelate these and cross. Until they start talking to you, you're still dead in the water, okay? So focus on that element. I want more people to do videos, and I want people to do videos and then cross them across all their social feeds, and then use those videos as well on text. Because what I'm focusing on here, and the key word I'm going to get across to you, or trying to get across to you, is engagement, okay? Start using the phone for it. The reason I say use the phone for it is because every time I've done a video, I've never got a single thing spelt wrong, okay? I can also do a video. You probably got this already. I can speak far faster than I can bloody type. Thirdly, how the hell do you translate my accent, my enthusiasm, my passion into what do I want to do for you into copy? How can you do that? Bottom line of it is you can't, Sherlock. So you get your camera, you stick on video, and you just go, hey, I'm here. Now, here's where it gets really nice. Do behind the scenes of what you're doing. Show yourself working. Show yourself in the park. Show yourself reading. Nice, cool backdrop. Okay, something that's interesting. And then talk to the person. Have a conversation. And then there's going to be a lot of people to go, well, videos, what's the best editing tool? There isn't. When was the last time you had an edit with a conversation you had with your mate? You don't. You start telling a joke, you screw up the ending, you go, oh, bloody hell, he laughs at you, you laugh at that, that's it. You do not turn around and go, hang on a minute, I'm going to walk out, let's start again. You never edit a conversation with a friend. Why should you edit a conversation on video? If you screw up and go, oh, sorry about that, I lost my tongue there. What I was trying to say was, because that's what real people do, because we're not perfect. Get used to the fact that you're not perfect. One of my key sayings to my students is perfection is a 3-testicled blue unicorn. It doesn't exist. All right. So get used to being you. So what I want you to do is I want you to do the social audit, and I'm going to keep repeating these things so that you kind of pick it up on this. And if you, I'll give you my Facebooks and all that kind of crap later. If you reach out to us, we'll put this in a sheet and we'll send it to you. Do your social audit. Make sure your tonality is correct and you've got the right bio in there. The language is right. The message that you're trying to get out there is correct. And then with the videos, you do a 3-to-1. You talk about what you do on a video, post it on Facebook, cross it across Instagram TV, Snapchat, LinkedIn, any of the others, okay? Same video, just put it on there. Do not, and this is one of the only things I would ask you not to automate, and Dustin may have some other opinions on this, but if you get Buffer or any of these programs that actually you post in one area and it populates in others, algorithms are getting changed on social platforms many times a week. And the trouble is quite often they will recognize that it's an automated posting and they won't allow it to appear in your friends' feeds. So they never get to see what you do. Now get this, if you've done a video, how many seconds while you're waiting for the coffee to boil does it take to go post, 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 post? And I literally will do it while I'm waiting for my coffee. I'm going to do a video this afternoon, probably Sunday morning while I'm waiting for the coffee to do, post it, post it, post it, post it. Cross 4 dynamics, and that'll be it, okay? So manually post to not upset the algorithms, post the same stuff, and post it with value. Ask yourself, if I'm going to put this out there, am I trying to show my flat stomach on the beach, or am I trying to solve? Am I trying to give a solution? Let's say, for argument's sake, you're a realtor, and you pull up to a house, and you get your camera out and you go, hey, I'm not going to tell you where I am at the moment, but I just want you to see these flowers. These flowers are called such and such. They give off a beautiful aroma. This is called curb appeal. When you're looking at selling a house, make sure that the second they get out of the car, there's a warming smell. There's something inviting, invigorating, both visually and the smell, the senses. This is a good tip for selling a house. Anyway, speak with you soon. Short and powerful. It's going to make the owner go, oh, maybe we should spend a couple of $100 and get some really nice flowers out the front. When you're inside and you're a mortgage officer, you could a loan officer, you can turn around and go, hey, this is scary to you. It isn't scary to me because it's what I do every day. These are the 3 questions I always get asked. And start answering things. Become a credible resource. Okay? Today, we've got a lot of shine out there. And I said to you earlier that I think we're going to see a reset on this perception society that we're in. I actually called it the other day perception recession that we're going to go into. People are going to start looking for the substance. There's too many people jumping up and down online now going, hey, I can teach you how I can make $1 million and how you can have this jet. And these guys don't have any money. The only reason they have money is because there are twats out there actually buying that course, and that's what's buying that car or renting that bloody fake mansion for 10 weeks. So there's going to be a lot of people now that are going to be focusing on the substance. You want to expose your substance. You want to expose why you are there. You want to be the answers to questions that your clients haven't even come up with yet. You want to be, and this is a big one, write this down, you want to be the who in their problem. Now, there's an old, remember the old movies kind of like, hey, you want something? I know a man, okay? You want to be that man or girl, okay? Or man or woman or man or lady, I don't know what it is nowadays. You want to be that other person, okay? You want to be the person that I know a person. Because you know everything that the client doesn't yet even contemplate. I've always said the client's not always right. The client doesn't know what they don't know. That's your job. The second the client knows it all, they're going to ask Amazon, they're going to ask Purple Bricks, they're going to ask Rocket Loans, they're going to ask all those companies, and they're going to get it. On the point of Purple Bricks, is anyone out there stupid enough to think that they're not going to come back 3 times stronger? The biggest successes in the planet have come from the greatest failures. I guarantee you now, guarantee you on my hair, that these people are back there going, how do we screw up? How can we make sure that doesn't happen again? They're going to come back, folks. I'm telling you. Maybe under a different name, but I'm telling you, they're coming back. They're getting ready. So be prepared to do what the others don't do. And I said to you at the beginning, that's create and connect. With Amazon, they do a number of things that you order them. So do what Amazon does, which is provide, answer, fulfill. And then do what Amazon doesn't do. Connect, communicate, and solve. You don't think I'm right? Then contact Amazon and go, hey, I'm in the toilet. What should I do? Find out what smart ass comes up with the fact that, well, maybe you need toilet paper. You won't get any conversation like that because they don't want to communicate with you. They just want to send it to you. They want to work off of your orders. So you got your order, do your videos. I love doing videos that gain me credibility by showing and giving answers to different things that are happening in my world. I have a Facebook community under Steve D. Sims. It's free of charge. Jump in there. My mum's in there. Just thought I'd mention that. And I go in there and I actually post things up that interest me. I found a platform yesterday through a friend of mine that actually, it's an AI program. It searches the social feed of my client to see what things they like and then suggests 10 things that they would like under the preset budget of whatever I give, like $5, there will be a nice, cool gift to send them. Okay. So you can send personalized gifts based on what their social profile says that they like and dislike. Okay. It's really, really cool. But that's the kind of stuff that we put in this Facebook group to help each other. But it's solving. Now, I'm actually providing that information to my group. My group is saying, thank you very much. I'm not getting any money. I'm becoming a credible resource of constantly trying to find new information. So that's what I want you to, do. I'm going to shout out now that it is here in LA, 12:35. I've got 25 minutes. I'm going to be talking for another 5 or 10 minutes, and then you're going to ask me questions. If you don't ask me questions, I'll bugger off and get on with the rest of my day. Videos. As we are human beings, we are all unique. We are born unique. We have a different slant, thought process, way of working out things. Do videos and send them to people. Now, here's one of the beautiful things about when you text a video. When was the last time you sent someone a text and it went into their junk file? The answer is never, because text has yet to come up with the junk file. In fact, it still doesn't even have a bloody good filter. I would give it less than 12 months before we start having some crap with texts. But the bottom line of it is, if you do a little video saying, hey, I'm on the beach today and I was thinking about the projects that we were talking about, be vague. You know, thinking about the projects we were talking about. I wanted to know, could we have a conversation next week? Would it be okay if I gave you a call next week? What would you prefer, Wednesday or Thursday? Just let me know and I'll talk with you then. All the best. Have a good weekend. Bye. You didn't put at the beginning of that, hey, Susan. Why? Because you don't need to. When was the last time you walked up to your friend and you went, hey, Christy, Steve Sims, how are you? You don't introduce yourself to your friend. So that video, that can go to 2,000 people. And it's also going via text. And the other beautiful thing is when that appears on your text, it's a face. Here's another question for you. Loads of questions for you. When was the last time you ignored a text? In fact, you pick up your phone, you got 10 texts, you got 200 emails. What do you answer first? I've never had anybody, and I'm sure there'll be a smug one out there now that will, but I've never had anybody turn around and go, I answer all my emails first before I look at texts. They don't do that. People go to text and they answer text. Why? Because text is informal. Texts come from people do you know. How do you know them? Because they have your phone number, okay? And they are with people that you have a short, brief conversation. I have a one thumb swipe rule. I'll swipe the thumb up once on a text, and this is the same with LinkedIn Messenger, Facebook Messenger, anything like that. I'll swipe once. If I have to swipe again, I will just put in the comments, long message here, fella, email it to me. Thank, okay? Because I don't want to be trying, can I look through a phone on a long message? Texts are brief. Hey, how you doing? I wanted to talk to you about this. Are we going out tonight? I like this. The way of getting over that is to do a short video. Okay. Videos are a great way of communicating your passion, your enthusiasm, what you stand for in an ever evolving technological world that makes you stand out and shows you care. The last thing I'm going to drop on your palate today is no email Tuesday. This was something that we started absolutely ages ago with my concierge firm, Bluefish, was we would actually on a Tuesday, we would wait until 9:30 and then we would look at all of the emails in there and then we would block it. And there's programs that block incoming mail. You can even turn off the Wi-Fi on your computer very easily. And then what you do is you go through those emails and instead of responding, you do this crazy, obscene stuff called phone them. And what you do is you pick up the phone and you phone up the client and you go, hey, Roger, how you doing? Yeah, this is Steve. Look, I've got a journey today and I noticed you got an email in, but I thought, would it be okay if we just chatted over the email so I can just ask you some questions? Phone people about what they were emailing you for and talk to them. One of the funny things that always happened was that we never ended up providing what they had asked for in the email. Because people would go, oh, I want to do this and I want to do this. And we would ask them this really cool question. We'd go, why is that? And we would ask them to give us more reason. We would often find that what they thought they wanted was actually not what they needed or desired. And then we could go, well, hang on a minute. If you're looking at doing this, why don't we do this and this? In fact, why don't we do this on a different day because the weather will be better? And why don't we go and do this instead in the meantime? So we found that it was communicating with people. And here's the thing, as I said to you before, the client doesn't know what they don't know. That's your job. Remember that. The person on the other end of the phone was now connecting with you. They were relaying information to you. They were relaying the emotions, the thoughts, the reactions, their why. They were responding that to you and giving you the chance to solve their problem. It's the creative aspect about you that keeps clients coming back. And the more credible you get, the more ways you expose it. And again, that's what those videos for. Hey, I'm really thrilled. We just closed the property down. We did it in like 3 days. And I am so happy that I was able to eliminate 99% of the stress from the client because, hey, it's not my first rodeo. This is what we do. We're here to solve and to make things easy, but also to be able to provide. So start using the videos for your credibility. Start using the videos for your for building up your resources. And then also start getting your clients to do the videos. Now tell me that you wouldn't be thrilled having a testimonial from a client on your Facebook page, LinkedIn, Twitter, all of them, having it on there going, hey, Susie, and you can contact the client. You can go, hey, do me a favor. I've got some other people I'm working on at the moment. Could you shoot a quick little video and just send me the video? I just want to show people that there are real people I deal business with. If they're happy with you and you've done a damn good job, they're going to do it. And again, let's be blunt. You only need 10 of them. If it takes you a year to get 10, it still looks good, doesn't it? Put it up there. There's a little story that I told people in California in Mastermind Summit when I was one of the keynotes with Barry Habib and Dan's brother and Darren, God, I forgot his last name, Shrewsbury. I don't know, I forgot. And I said to them, I said, here's an example. I walk into a pub. I walk up to you and I go, hey, how you doing? My name is Steve Sims. I've worked with Elton John, Elon Musk, Richard Branson. I've sent people down to the Titanic and got people married in the Vatican by the Pope. I'm a big deal. You'd be disgusted. You'd be repelled. You'd be like, arrogant prick. Let's play a second scenario. I walk into the same pub. You're stood by the bar with your best mate. I ignore you. Why not? I don't know who the hell you are. And I walk to the other end of the bar, order my old fashioned, and your best friend turns around and whispers in your ear, hey, you see that guy? He's worked with Elton John, Elon Musk, Richard Branson. He's sent people down to the Titanic, got people married in the Vatican by the Pope. He's a big deal. Says word for word what I had said. Now, what's your reaction? What's your emotional trigger? You're interested. Why? Because it was the source. Our new gold, our new currency is credibility. you've got to establish credibility. With credibility, you can suffer a million recessions, attacks, trolls on social. If you've got credibility for being who you are, doing what you do, exposing that you care and that you solve and that you are a resource, you're going to go to the top of the tree while everyone's sitting there going, it's the end of the world. Fax machines are going to take us over. iRobot's coming and we're all going to be dead by the weekend. You got to start focusing on that. All right, folks, I'm opening that up to any kind of Q&A. Is there anyone that wants to talk to me out there? Larry,
So,
you back?
I'm back. And I'll have to say that it's hard to even know what to say to all what you just dropped. So it's amazing, right? And the comments have been flowing like crazy. People just quoting you. People just, I mean, it's like we're taking notes, right? I mean, and it's like, you know, like you said, AI and technology. This is how we're taking notes. You know, everything that you said, all the knowledge, all the great lines, people are writing it down so I can go back and see what you said that I can, you know, again, remotivate myself. So there's no questions from what I see. People are just agreeing with you or just, you know, like, again, you know, repeating what you said. Now, I will give some people some time if they have questions. I did tell them if they have questions, I'll ask it for them. But I have a couple of questions for you.
Fire.
If you don't mind. So obviously, you are very you have credibility, right? That's obvious, right? So when do you think would be a good time? Because sometimes you have to sort of, I would say, not train people, you know, but like you said, you know, hey, can you do a quick video for me or whatever? When would be a good time to throw that in? You know, I've heard people say you have to do it right in the beginning, set expectations, maybe at the end, right before you finish the transaction or close. When do you think is a good time to kind of mention that or bring that up?
Throughout, actually throughout the process. Do you remember at the beginning of this webinar, and I hate webinars, I'll be completely honest with you, you know, they're very hard for me to actually do, but
Right.
at the beginning of the webinar, I actually set the stage that I was going to rant for like 30, 40 minutes, and then I was going to open it up for questions. So I positioned it right
Yes.
at the beginning. So you knew it was coming, okay?
Yes.
So when you're working with people, and this is where it becomes easier down the line, because there's already a trend, there's already a thread, there's already continuity in what you're actually asking. But when you're working with someone, you can actually turn around and you go, look, hey, Mitch, the way that I tend to work is through people that I get on with and I can connect. And it's usually friends of friends that I've looked after. So here's what's going to happen. I'm going to give you the best damn service. And throughout that, I'm going to be making sure that you're happy. At the end of it, if you are, I sometimes ask people to introduce me to someone. I'll ask you to do a little video. I may ask you to kind of like write a little testimonial, but that's only going to come if you think I am the best person that's walked into your life in the last 10 months. Okay, are we okay with that? And if you position it like that at the beginning, it's not too much of a shock. As you're going through the process, you can go, hey, how are we doing? How are you feeling? How is it sinking in? I don't want to flood. Now, I've just ranted for like 40 minutes, and I'm sure it's like sipping water out of Niagara Falls. You know, I know there's a lot that's come at a lot of people, and there may be a few that go, I've got the deer in headlights like your robot logo. But I want to be able to turn around and go, hey, this may be a little bit overwhelming, but it isn't. Breathe. I'm here for you. We're partners till the end of this, and the end is when you're sitting pretty in your perfect place. Okay. And reassure, calm them. You know, people go to the hospital and there are people that are taught not to really answer, but to just make you feel good, make you feel comfortable. And that's what we want. You know, you're going into a situation where you feel comfortable, you feel understood. So when they ask something back, like the testimonial as it goes on, and even halfway through, you go, look, we just went through the hardest bit. How was it? You know? And I've often kind of like, will grab the phone and go, look, you just went through it. I want other people to know that it's not terrifying. If you're in a good mood, do you want to shoot a selfie? You know, and I go, yeah, okay. Then. And you can go, hey, Mitch, I know this is overwhelming, but how are you feeling at the moment? Oh, I'm feeling good. Why? Did you understand everything? Yeah, I did. And you can lead the questions and you can go, hey, I'm glad you're happy, but this video is just to tell people out there that are good, and this is one of the cool things. Don't turn around and go, this is why you need Steve Sims. You turn around and you say, that's why you need a good professional in your corner that's got your back, front, top, and bottom. That's what you need. Look out for the right person. Okay?
Right.
By saying that, you're not actually promoting yourself. You're just advising. But what is your immediate, if I said to you, hey, go and find the best person that can get you married in the Vatican by the Pope. Go and find someone that's got the credibility of what am I doing? I'm selling myself without mentioning myself.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
Subliminally, you're going, he's telling me to go. It's a Miracle in 54th Street. If you ever remember that part in the movie where Alison Janness was actually sat on, this child was sat on Santa's knee and said, oh, I want a BB gun. And Santa was like, oh, yeah, you'll get it. And Alison Janness steps in. She's like, it's $99 here. And he's like, no, if you go down the road, it's $49. And he sent them somewhere else. And she goes up to the manager and she said, if anyone's going to put the child before the dollar, you have my business from everything down to toilet rolls. That's what you're doing. You're breeding that credibility. You're breeding that trust and that loyalty. And you're building up the currencies that are going to get us. Everyone can make more money. Everyone can do brilliant adverts. Everyone can be an overnight influencer. Shit. You could have your dog, you can pay for people in the Philippines to suddenly start liking that page and you can have 4 million followers by tomorrow morning. Ain't going to bloody help you, but it's a vanity metrics.
Yes.
Credibility is not a vanity metrics. It's what's going to get you your home. It's going to get you your stability. So position it all the way through the conversation.
Perfect. All right. So I got some questions, but the question I want to ask before I get to the other people's questions real quickly is you said multiple times you hate webinars, right? Mm-hmm. How did Mitch convince you to do this webinar?
He's a persistent little bastard. And he actually, I'm not joking. He is a persistent little bastard. And I just finished Mastermind Summit and I thought to myself, there was a bunch of people that I knew in this group. As I say, I was very honored to meet Barry at a Mastermind Summit and I heard his brother was on here. So it was of interest to me and intrigue. I thought, yeah, I'll try it. My girl Trish was on it. And I thought, yeah, I'll jump in. I much prefer stage or consultant agreements where I can read body language. It's very scary, very unnerving, staring at a little green light on your Mac. So it is tough. But I wanted to kind of like come on. I wanted to help people. And bottom line of it is I wanted people to stop being scared. It's a running theme through anything of the experts that have said here. It's don't be scared, just do. I have a saying that my buddy Ari Meisel said is the epitome of me. He said, I get going, then I get good. And that's it. So, you can't polish until you actually start. So don't be scared. Don't be terrified of AI. Any technology that comes up next week, go, great. Selfishly, how can that help me? Or shall I ignore it? Because you don't have to use every piece of technology just because it exists. Trello, Slack, all of these things are great pieces of technology. I don't touch them with a barge pole because I don't care. So use stuff that works for you and don't be scared. And I'm not going to do every webinar, but Mitch was very persistent. He positioned it well. And so I thought, I'll give it a shot.
Well, we are grateful that Mitch was being a persistent little bastard, and we are grateful that you decided to, I guess, have the courage to go ahead and do it, because now we have you literally, it's a legacy. It's frozen, right? Because we can watch this video over and over and over and share it with other people. So really, thank you.
Oh, shit.
That.
Okay.
Mitch asks, so how does a guy with no credibility become credible?
Oh, focus on the solution. I'm not there to look pretty. I'm there to provide. It is tough to get that across. And no, you're not going to get a $10 million contract on your first tryout. But when you go to someone, there's nothing wrong with saying, hey, you will get people that have got a longer list of history than me. You will get people that appear to be more credible than me, but you'll have no one that will fight for you more than me. So look them in the eyes, man up and just, say to them, hey, I'm here to solve. I'm here to provide. Where it goes after this, hey, that's icing. But my focus is to make sure you get the best you possibly can by providing you with stuff you possibly even haven't thought of yet.
Perfect.
So show you care. There's an old saying that says they won't care till you show you care.
Right.
So do that.
Perfect. Perfect. Thank you very much. So Megan Anderson asks, what is the top 3 platforms you find helpful?
Top 3 platforms. Does she mean social platforms?
I'm assuming so, because we kind of spoke on, because you said that, the communication delusion is like there's all these different conversations and such. Maybe she wants to know, like, for you personally, what's the best for you in terms of communication platforms?
Communication platform. My favorite communication platform is text. And she will know this already because we were chatting yesterday and stalking each other and that. But so I love doing text because it comes through quick and it's brief. I'm a great believer in brevity. And I want to know what's the point, quick. I don't care what you wanted to watch on TV last night or what you had for dinner. I want to know what's the point. So text is great for someone saying, hey, can we talk about this? What's your answer on this? What's a good link for this? So I love text for its brevity. One of my favorite technology platforms I use a lot, much to the annoyance of my team, is Voxer. Voxer can text, Voxer can attach, pictures and videos and stuff like that. But it's also a great walkie-talkie. You can just go, hey, can you make sure? And you can just drop those in. So I love texting for customers and for relationships. When I've got stuff that I'm working on that I need more instant response, I love Voxing. And then thirdly, I always use email for confirmation. So I will text you, and I may text a video going, hey, we're going to do this, 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 and this, and this. Is that correct? And your text back going, yes. Then I will compile an email and saying, hey, I'm glad we spoke over text regarding to make sure that we had a confirmed thread. Please confirm I understand the points of our agreement. And that way you've now got something that is there within your CRM. And I use Outlook for that. So I text, video text, Vox, and then email confirm.
Perfect. And I'm going to chime in a little bit. The reason why I like having conversations on Messenger and text, it's like on paper, right? It's almost like you and I both made an agreement. It's written in the text or email or Messenger, so you can't change that. You can't go back. And if I need to recall something, it's like taking notes. I can remember what was said before by going through the conversation beforehand.
Yeah, the problem with text on your phone is if your phone resets or your text wipe, you don't have that thread. In Facebook Messenger, you can go back so far. In Voxer, you can go back a lot further, but the email stays archived. So that's why, even if I speak with you in Messenger, if it's something that's important, I am going to put it into an email format so that I have some kind, so I can go back and go, hey, on Tuesday, the 19th at 3:00, we confirmed you were going to pay for all of my whiskey. I've got it. That's the important stuff.
So if I get an email from you, I should probably be afraid, right? Because you're trying to lock me in on something, right, boss?
I'm locking you in for the bar tab. Damn right, boy.
Right. All right. So Leonard Culp asks, what does ELF stand for again, please?
That's Joe Polish. Joe Polish does a podcast with Dean Jackson called I Love Marketing. Everyone should subscribe to it. They should also subscribe to my podcast, The Art of Making Things Happen, because it's brilliant and it's mine. But Joe Polish and Dean Jackson are far more intelligent than me. Not as good looking, but far more intelligent. And Joe came up with ELF businesses and ELF marketing. Easy, lucrative, and fun. If it's easy, you can do it all day with no stress. If you can make money out of it, then it fulfills and satisfies all the financial whims, And if it's fun, then it actually draws you back in to keep on doing it. It's a constant circle. Easy, lucrative, fun. So that's what ELF stands for.
Perfect. So let me see here. I got another question. Make sure here. I don't know who asked it, but I read it. They asked, how do you get on the cover of a magazine? That's the question they asked.
You don't. No one reads freaking magazines anymore. There was a time when print media was brilliant. I remember I've been getting in the media for, sometimes the wrong reasons, since like the mid-90s. And I would get someone contact me and they would say, hey, we want to do an interview. And I'd be like, oh, that's great. Is it print or is it digital? Because there was this new thing where all of this digital content was required. And in the early stages, people would like, oh, it's print. And if it was digital, in my early days, I'd be like, no, not doing it. And I would push to be in print, because to be able to walk up to the paper stand, get a magazine, open it up, and you've got, a couple of pictures in there, that was good. What became really bad was you couldn't share it with anyone.
Right.
Okay. So you had to end up buying like 400 of the bloody magazines to send it out to people. Or you had to scan it and then start posting up pictures of a scanned mag like an egotistical prick. So then digital actually became the better. And then what I started asking was like, is this print or digital? Sometimes they would go, oh, it's both. It's a larger digital article, but it's a smaller print. And then now I'll go, digital or print. They go, oh, it's all digital. Fantastic. Because I can spread that link all over the planet. So, and I haven't got to pay for it. So the idea of getting onto a magazine now, no one really cares. I would focus on digital, and some digital publications actually release different covers. And if you can actually convince them to do a good article on you, they will actually release you a link that has you as the cover model. So you may be on the cover of, say, that particular release. But being on the cover, that's again like building up Facebook likes. No one cares. It's the engagement. I have a saying in my group, and I have a course called Sims Distillery, shallow plug, simsdistillery.com. It's awesome. And I talk in there about media, and I've actually said in there, getting media is one thing. What you do with it is everything. Mm-hmm. So too many people focus on how do I get into the media? Anyone can get into the media today because the media is starving for good content. Easiest way to get into there is argue about what someone had an article on last week. If Dustin's talking to you about pixelation, stuff like that, and I come up and turn around, well, fuck pixelation, it's dead, I'm going to get an article because they're going to be, well, why does this guy think pixelation's dead? Right. I could be a complete loon, but I'm in there, and then I can start saying, as quoted in Entrepreneur. You're never going to read the article, but you'll know that I was quoted in Entrepreneur. I've been in some magazines where I've been, I know this is hard to believe, but a little bit drunk and got carried out of a party. And I got into a magazine about it. And I turned around and it was like quoted in the New York Times. And people are like, oh, congratulations. And I'm thinking, you have no idea why I was quoted, but it wasn't pretty. But I was quoted. So how you actually use it for your advantage, for your selfish gain, is everything you should be focusing on, not getting into the press.
Perfect. And that was Connor. A couple people asked that question. So thank you, Connor, for that question. So Megan Anderson asked, what CRM do you use? You mentioned it, but she didn't quite get the name. So what CRM?
So I have two. One of them is pretty much run by my fantastic partner, I suppose I should call her, Christy, and they use Zoho. Okay. For me, I use Outlook. A lot of people go, oh, but I love Outlook because it's so easy. It syncs to my phone easy. I use an Exchange server. So even if I don't have my phone laptop, I can just type in and I can see everything. So for my day-to-day, it's Outlook. For my follow-ups and QuickBooks, and for the back office, I suppose, everyone else can like supporting me, Zoho.
Perfect. And for me personally, I understand the whole using the email Outlook as a CRM because you're using it as a communication platform anyways. Now, I'm going to ask you kind of a weird question. Hopefully you can answer it. Let's say you couldn't use Zoho anymore and you couldn't use Outlook. What would be the next alternative that you would consider using as a CRM?
I love Apple, but I would not use MacMail or any of their programs because they're just so freaking annoying. And you got to open up different ones, and it's. I would probably start investigating more of the cloud-based stuff, like Gmail. Tim Ferriss and a bunch of my boys are everything's Google, everything's Gmail. Do you remember a few years ago when we used to Yahoo someone?
Yeah.
That's all died, hasn't it? You know, it's like my Friendster account on my MySpace page. But so
I met my wife on MySpace.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Jeepers. Okay, that's not recent, is it?
No, like 10 years ago. 10 years ago.
I was going to say, if you've got a MySpace page now, I may still actually. I don't even know if MySpace exists.
Yes, it does.
But oh, shocking. But I would probably go cloud-based, and I would probably go into whatever the Google platforms are, because Google have the update in Substance. So I would probably go into them. I know I use Calendly for when I'm doing podcast links and my schedule and all those kind of things. They are seamless with Gmail accounts, and I don't have a Gmail account, so it's a bit annoying. But I would definitely look at the Google platforms.
Yeah, that's very surprising to finally find someone who doesn't have a Google account. But you know, obviously, you know what you need to do, so you know how to run your business the way you do. So everything works for you. So that's all that matters, right? So of course, we completely appreciate you being here. Now, before we let you go, and I know you have your book, right? And you have an audio version, which I'm going to purchase both for sure. I want to know. For myself, because I'm the selfish bitch like you are, but also for the audience, how can we get more content, more information, you know, follow up with you? You know, I mean, like I asked Megan, you know, she was on stage and you were on stage at Mastermind. When's your next gig? When can we meet you? You know, where should we go to see if we can you get an autograph from you? I mean, well, give me some follow-up information about you.
Well, if you want my autograph, buy me a whiskey at the next bar you see me at. I'll sign anything. My next gigs, I do a lot of private gigs called speakeasies.
Okay.
And so my next one is next week actually in Reno. But my next stage appearance is August. And then I actually travel to Spain, London, New York, and South Virginia. So all in October. So October's a nutty period for me. But I think the best thing to do, the smartest thing to do, is you can either text the word SIMS, that's SIMS, to 33777, and you will get on my email chain, you will get a free video, you will get a free PDF cheat sheet of bluefishing, or you can go to stevedsims.com, do the exact same, put your email in there. You'll get the video, you'll get the PDF, but we won't be able to send you text alerts. Or you can jump onto the Facebook group under Steve D. Sims. It's a private Facebook group, but all you got to do is answer 3 questions, and all my fun and frolics and where I'm going to be and where I'm hanging out and what I'm getting up to is all on there. So you got 3 ways of finding me.
Okay, so could you please repeat the number? Text SIMS to what number again? So
SIMS is SIMS.
Mm-hmm.
And the number is 33777.
Perfect. I just put it in the live so that everyone can have that information. So
that only works with US cell phones, by the way.
Perfect. So any last words, remarks before we let you go, boss? You know, we don't want you to leave, but we know you're busy. So I'm going to try to steal as much time as I can. But anything you want to say before you go? Yeah,
if a biker from Britain can be doing the shit that I'm doing, you're already out of excuses. There was some incredibly intelligent people on the seminar, the webinar, this morning, and they gave you a lot of great information. The dumbest thing you can do is to ignore it all. The biggest problem you're going to have is you've been inundated with information, and it can sometimes throw you into a deer in headlight coma. So what you've got to do is just pick one thing from anyone. It doesn't matter who said it. Just one thing and action it today. That's going to propel you to become better today than you were yesterday. And that's the whole focus. You can go back and watch these videos. I take it that everyone that's subscribed can rewatch the videos. Is that correct?
Yes.
Right. So you can go back and over a coffee, go in and break them down. but start actioning. Don't worry about failing. Our greatest success comes from our greatest failure. But if you fail to start, you've wasted your time and mine, and that doesn't please me. So just do one thing today that you didn't do yesterday from the geniuses that told you about it this morning.